Today, we are starting a new series about math words in English. Why math words? Because I know that there are some of you watching this who are sitting at home with your children in this pandemic trying to homeschool. So, we are starting this series. I'm going to talk about basic numbers first. So let's get started with today's video, which is about general math. Let's go. Oh, and don't forget to like my video and subscribe to my channel. Let's get started. Numbers. There are different types of numbers that we need to know. Negative numbers. We read these as -5, -7. This is a minus sign. A number that is not negative is called positive. Odd numbers are numbers like 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, and on and on. Even numbers are numbers like 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, and so on. And that reminds me, counting by. We say counting by like 2, 4, 6, 8. That's counting by 2. If I tell you to count by 3, you would say 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, blah, blah, blah. If I tell you to count by 5, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. We talk about single-digit numbers. These are numbers that have one number, like 5. There's just one. Double-digit or two-digit numbers are numbers like 25, 2, 5, two numbers. If it has 3, then we say triple-digit or 3-digit. One thing that's really, that we use a lot in math in America is rounding. Rounding is when we look at a number and say if it's closer to 10 or 0. For example, 7. 7 is closer to 10, so we round up to 10. 2 is closer to 0, so we round down to 0. When we're talking about rounding, we talk about places for numbers. For example, this is the ones place. This is the tens place. Hundreds and thousands. When we talk about decimals, numbers with the point, the numbers on the right side have different names. 10th, 100th, 1000th, 10,000th. To round, you have to first know what place you round to. For the number itself, with no decimals after, it's very easy to round to that. You just say round to the nearest whole number. But maybe you want to round to the nearest tenth, hundredth, thousandth. So decimals, like I said, are the numbers with the points, with the dots. That dot is called a decimal point. Another type of number is fractions. Fractions are numbers like this. We will have a special video about fractions and decimals. There are a lot of vocabulary that we use when we're talking about those, and I'd like to take my time. Another type of number that we use in math is called an exponent. This is the small number with a big number, but the 2 and the 3 have a special name. If you are talking about a 5 with a tiny 2, you would say 5 squared. If you're talking about 5 with a tiny 3, this is cubed. 5 cubed. We also talk about numbers in comparisons. Comparisons are when we talk about two things and we see which is more and less. So if we're talking about things like marshmallows, then we say sentences like, Fred has more marshmallows than Velma. This glass has more water than this glass. But when we talk about numbers, we talk about them differently. We use words like more and less, more than and less than to talk about the numbers. 7 is more than 3. We also use words like bigger and smaller to talk about the numbers. 7 is a bigger number than 3. Or we talk about them as greater than, less than. Or we talk about, if we're talking about items, we can say more or fewer. Okay? But we write these a special way in English. If we're talking about two numbers, and the first one is the higher number. Oh, we also use higher and lower for numbers. We have a lot of words for them. Sorry. So if the first number is more, then we use a sentence like this, a math sentence, and we write it as 7 is greater than 3. What if the first number is the smaller number? Then we use something like this, and we say 3 is less than 7. What if they are the same? 3 equals 3. Now let's talk about our basic types of math. Math problems. Math problems are things like this, this, this. And we need to solve them or find the answer or solution. This type is called addition. This type is called subtraction. This type is called multiplication. And this one is called division. that is all I have for very basic math words. I'm sure I've left some out. It's been a long time since I've been in school studying math. So if you think of any I have forgotten, toss them in the comments and I can add more pieces to this video later. I would love your help making this video series as great as it can be. And always, as always, don't forget to like my video, subscribe to my channel, and of course keep watching for the rest of the videos in this series.